You have unfulfilled dreams. That's 100% guarantee. And there's only one thing that you need to do to actually break through and make it happen. And I'm going to explain it to you. Welcome to the Dutton Mindset Show. In this episode, I'm going to explain to you the one secret that's holding you back from achieving your goals. Here's the beautiful thing. Everybody who's watching this right now has their own individual goals and dreams, things that you want to accomplish. And so for me to give you a step-by-step playbook on how to achieve that specific thing, it would be impossible to do. But one thing I can do is give you a step-by-step playbook on how to do something in a universal way that applies to not only your dream, but it applies to the dreams of your friends as well. And so I'm going to explain it to you, and it's really one simple concept. Bottom line up front, it's burn the ships. Burn the ships. What does it mean? It means that when you go to conquer a new land, when you go to a new place to conquer this land, you want to not only conquer it, but you want to inhabit it. You want to take over. And if you park your ships right up on the shore and things don't go well, let's say the native people of that land, they kick your ass and they want you to get out of there. Well, you can always just get back on your ships and leave. You can always just get back on your boats and just go back to where you came from. But if you burn the ship, you have no choice but to fight until the end. You have no choice but to give it everything you have because there is no alternative. The alternative is death. And so because of that, your will to fight increases exponentially. And that's exactly what you need to do in your life. You need to burn the ships. You need to burn the ships. Burn your plan B. Burn your plan C. Stop relying on the things you're relying on. Again, everyone's situation is different, but let's take you, for example. Perhaps, there's a thing you've been trying to achieve, but you have this 9-to-5 job and it's a stable job and it pays you well, but you know that you have other dreams and goals. Well, you have to leave that job. You have to step into who you're supposed to be. Now, look, I'm not a financial advisor, only you are. And understand that everything that you need to do in order to get what you want requires a large amount of risk. So if you're going to put yourself into a financial burden, that's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing to feel the fire on your feet. It's probably a good thing to feel the monkey on your back, where you got no choice but to persevere and move forward. You got no choice but to figure it out and find a path. Like, you have to make it happen. It's not a matter of, do I want to or should I? It's a matter of I have to. I got no other alternative. And that's how you become truly successful. See, you have to just be willing to take risk. When I was building my Instagram and YouTube or my TikTok platforms, for example, there were a lot of people early on in my career who were trying to shut me down. For those of you who don't know, because of my military background, there's a lot of people who I'm moving into new territory in social media as far as I look behind the curtain in military recruiting and sales. And there's a lot of people who don't like that. There's also a lot of people who don't like the fact that my social media platforms bring me a lot of personal business for motivational speaking and other things. They don't like that. And I don't know why they don't like it, but they just don't. But I had to take the risk and burn the ships. I had to just say, I'm not stopping, I'm moving forward, and just see what happens. Deal with the consequences of it. It's just one of those things, right? When you start a business, when you start a goal, when you start a dream, you have to remove the possibility to go backward. You have to remove the safety net. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about the safety nets that you put in place in your life. What are those safety nets? Is it the job? Maybe you love your job and you're exactly where you want to be. That's good. But maybe it is the job. Maybe it's the spouse. Maybe it's the woman you're with. And you're afraid that if you leave her, you won't find another woman like her. Maybe that's what it is. You won't find another woman who could put up with you. So you'd rather have one that you don't like that much than to try to find another one and maybe end up by yourself. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the friend group. It's the social status. You actually hate being around these people. They don't support you in any way. They don't do anything for you. They don't fire you up in any way. But yet you still stick around them because you don't want to be a social outcast. And it's actually hindering your growth. All they want to do is party, so you go out and party because you're a follower. You have yet to release yourself from those burdens. See, we could be looking at personal relationships. We could look at our personal careers. We could look at our personal, our marriages. We can look at this in many different angles. And if we burnt the ships on all these things, we knew what we wanted. We identified what the end goal should be. And then we looked at all the things that we're doing instead. Those things we're doing instead are the things that must be cut off at the neck. And you need to then jump as quickly as possible onto this side. Now, here's the thing. It's like jumping into a lake and learning how to swim. You see, when I was young, my father threw me into the creek. And when you have no choice but to figure out how to swim, well, you figure out how to swim. You have no choice. But if you're always floating with the floaties on, if you're always in the water with the little paddleboard, if you're always holding on to the wall, well, then in that circumstance, you will never feel comfortable enough to let that go. You've done it already many times in your life, starting from when you were just a boy, just a baby, just a little girl, whatever it is. When you learned how to walk, you were doing that. When you learned how to walk, at some point you had to let go of the ledge and just go for it. And if you could do it as an infant, you could do it right now. The consequences are far more vast right now. There's more at stake today. So you have to burn the ships. Let go of the past. Let go of the crutch. Let go of the wall. Let go of the safety net. Cut it off. Whether it's in your career, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your spouse, whether it's in your friend group, whether it's in whatever it is, you need to identify what you want to do or who you want to be around or what you do need and look at the crutch that you're holding on to and then decide to cut that off and watch and see how fast you make the decision and how fast you get the result when you absolutely have to, when you must find a way. Or you drown. But one thing I can guarantee you is you'll always be just okay. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Videos like this dropping every single week to help you open up your mind, reach your goals, and get to the next level of your life. Until next day, God bless.